Hello everyone, it's Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. Now, Rastakhan's Rumble has arrived, and this is my first video featuring a new deck from the new expansion. And given that Hunter is my new favourite class in all of Hearthstone, all because of one guy, and his name is Duwin. You've seen me publish videos before featuring his decks, and do yourselves a favour, follow him on Twitter, because Duwin is what I'd call a Hunter expert. He's given me so much good advice about playing the Hunter class and really re-energised my interest in playing Hunter. He's now part of Team Onetrick, who are all about reinvigorating the wild meta and helping it progress. So yeah, give Duwin a follow on Twitter and you can keep track of his latest experiments with new Hunter decks. So this particular deck by Duwin plays Zul'jin, which essentially replaces your hero. The hero power becomes a 2 damage hero power that you can target either at minions or at your opponent's face. And most importantly, the battle cry from Zul'jin will replay spells that you have cast in that game. And that's potentially a massive swing turn. A good way of thinking about Zul'jin is a more precise Yogg. For those of you that used to play Yogg in spell decks, Yogg could either be a massive hit or a massive miss. Zul'jin, you can engineer the spells that you include in your deck to ensure that the effect he has is positive. So, for example, you play Zul'jin, you get the Spellstone cast, getting you 4 wolves back on the board. That's a massive refill of the board. You play Zul'jin, get Crushing Walls and Deadly Shot and, I don't know, Multishot. That could be either a partial or a full board clear. The most important thing, of course, is to play Zul'jin before you play Deathstalker Rexxar. Now, that can be problematic because Rexxar can then become a bit of a dead card in your hand if you're waiting for Zul'jin to arrive first, so you can play Zul'jin and then Rexxar. So should we be including both Deathstalker Rexxar and Zul'jin in the same deck? It's an interesting question to be asked. I think the answer is yes. Both cards are really good value. Just Zul'jin is an immediate board swing for you potentially, and Rexxar is a long-term value card. Now, in the games that I've played with this deck, I've never been able to play Zul'jin. When I've been playing on the ladder. I've always ended up winning the game before he's arrived in my hand. Now, on casual mode, however, yes, I've always had an opportunity to play Zul'jin. It's interesting how that works out. Now, the matches that you're good with, you can match Even Shaman in terms of tempo with this deck. I've faced a number of Even Shamans. In fact, I think the majority of games that are featured in this video are against Even Shaman. It's interesting how that deck has not disappeared from the wild mode ladder. Big Priest with Barnes on turn 3 or turn 4 is a difficult matchup, unfortunately, just because they could have those resurrection effects. In a lot of ways, it depends on what they get from Barnes. If they get Obsidian Statue, I think you're kind of screwed. So yeah, Big Priest is a problem. Odd Paladins, you can beat them with Explosive Trap and with big Spellstone swings. Some interesting points about this deck. Secret Plan is included rather than Secret Keeper, and I find that interesting because in the past, Secret Keepers have been able to swing games for me quite early. I guess Secret Plan goes well with Zul'jin, and also Secret Plan lets you discover the right kind of secret for a particular situation. So let's say you really need an explosive trap, Secret Plan can get you that. So I guess it's pretty useful. So that's enough of me talking. Let's have a look at a couple of games of this deck in action on the Wild Mode ladder.
Let the hunt begin.
Okay, we're going up against the Shaman here, and normally I would strongly consider keeping Deathstalker Rexxar, just because he's so good. He only costs 6, and when you play him, you probably kill a couple of things on the board with his battle cry, and then you get that zombie beast value from turn 6 onwards. However, with this deck, you want to draw and play Zul'jin first, before you play Rexxar. But this hand is pretty good, and it is Even Shaman. So we are going to see Totem Golems, 4 mana 7/7s, things from below, coming down very early. And we have the Spellstone, so hopefully we can match his board with a wide board of our own. The way he wins this game is if he's able to overwhelm me first with a large selection of threats that I just can't deal with. Now, I could play the Explosive Trap, and hit my face into the Flame Tongue, but he'd probably see that coming, right? And he just wouldn't attack. He'd wait another turn for it to get healed. So, yeah, we want to save that Explosive Trap.
The future is ours.
Now, Stargazer Luna, really good pickup there. Really, really good pickup. Yeah, priority to kill that, obviously. Now, he doesn't get a healing totem. So, I think it's worth chancing here. Throwing the attack in and seeing whether my opponent will go face here. Sometimes it's just best to get the secret out the way, to trigger it, get it out the way, and then you can focus on playing other things from your hand. Now in this instance, playing a 4 mana 7/7, that's huge, that's pretty big. But we have the buff Spellstone, and I've always found in the past that playing the Spellstone against Even Shaman on turn 5 or coined on turn 4 is often a game-winning play. Because you can see here, he's overloaded. He's only got 3 mana to play with. That's not a lot. That healing totem's a bit unfortunate. He may be thinking about whether to trade or whether to go face. If you have the healing totem on board, maybe trading makes sense, because you know that after you've traded, you're going to get 1 health back on your minion. And we have Crushing Walls as well for turn 7. Really excited to play that card. So, removing the healing totem I think is reasonable here. And Subject 9 is going to set us up for a huge turn next turn with the Huntress. Wow, he plays Wind Fury. That's 14 damage to my face, and yeah, you're not trading with that. You are going full on face. Wow, he even has the Jade Lightning to protect it. And all of a sudden, we're nearly dead. Just like that, 14 damage. But this is our massive turn here with all of our secrets. We have the freezing trap in play, so it's going to go back to hand. Lotheb feels pretty good, maybe as a follow-up next turn to block spells. So now we need to try and build as wide of a board as possible because we need to start pushing damage to his face. Unless he has a charging minion in hand, that Flame Wreath Faceless is going back to hand, and that's good for us. Because if he replays it now, he's going to be overloaded on the following turn. Meanwhile, Wandering Monster, wow, gets us a Henchclan Thug. That's really interesting. Wow, Sea Giant, okay. Crushing Walls could be an interesting option here. It just buys me tempo, gives me the opportunity to go face. And we're putting him under a lot of pressure here. We still have our hero power active, so that's not a taunt totem. I assume he's going to play the 4 mana 7/7 here. Just get it down on the board. But thankfully for us, we have the Spellbreaker ready and waiting. Yeah, this game's over now. And unfortunately for us, we didn't get a chance to play Zul'jin, but we did get value on Henchclan Thug. It's pretty cool. Okay, our next game is against another Shaman. Do you see a pattern here? Ranks 3 and 4, just full of even Shamans, and I think big priests as well. It's as if nothing had changed. It's as if no expansion had arrived. It's as if we're just playing old decks. Misdirection actually looks pretty interesting, but no, Bear Trap looks like it could get us value next turn. Now, we have the Spellstone in hand, and like with the previous game, that could be our game-winning play. Totem Golem on 2, of course. Now, I'm going to coin the Huntress out here, just to get the body down on board. She's probably going to die on this turn. But just getting her down, I think, is reasonable. We get 2 secrets in play as well. That's good value. Our Spellstone is buffed. We have to wait 3 more turns to play it, but fair enough. Wow, he went face with that. That's interesting. Huh. Well, I guess my Cloaked Huntress survives for another turn. I'm sure there was a better way for him to play that. But anyway, turn 4 is probably going to be Shore, and then we can play turn 5 Spellstone, and we can give our Wolves Rush, and that's a big deal. Now, it's turn 4 for him, which means, yep, 4 mana 7/7, of course.
I hunt alone.
So, Deadly Shot and Crushing Walls have become 2 of my favourite spells to play now. Against Even Shaman, I think they work out really, really well. Against aggressive decks that run lower health and lower attack minions and that go slightly wider on the board, maybe those two spells are not as good, but against Even Shaman, they're a big deal. So we've gone super wide on this board, unless he's running some kind of mass AoE. I mean, he could spell Power Totem and try for Maelstrom Portal here. Maybe double Maelstrom Portal with spell power would actually be board clear. But the chances of him having that in hand is slim to none. Oh, he actually gets the spell Power Totem. And this is the second Shaman in a row that's running Wind Fury in his deck. And he's going face. That's really interesting. I guess he still thinks he can win with the Sea Giant. We're one turn off from crushing walls. But we can just board clear here. We don't want to leave anything up. Especially that spell Power Totem.
This beast will not be tamed.
Was hoping for a free secret there. I've noticed that whenever I play Stitch Tracker and I have Cloaked Huntress on board, I never discover a secret. I think that's just my bad luck, but yeah, I never discover a secret. Now Lotham's pretty good to pick up. It could block us. It could block him from killing us with Crackles or Jade Lightnings. There's a Crackle. Puts us down to 6, but with this board presence, wow, puts us down to 4. Actually a really close game. But with this board, it's over. And notice once again, no Zul'jin played, no Deathstalker Rexxar played. It is the Spellstone that is winning us these games. Okay, now, whenever I play this deck on casual, I always get a chance to play Zul'jin. And this is awesome. We start getting our secrets. Give us all the secrets. And the Deadly Shot, for good measure. There's the Spellstone. That's the value of Zul'jin. 5 secrets, a Deadly Shot, and a Spellstone in this particular instance. That's really good value. And he stole Zul'jin as well. Psychic Scream, really good for him. Holy Nova, healing for 2. Hey, that could make all the difference. So now that we've played Zul'jin, I guess what we're really looking for to close out the game is Deathstalker Rexxar. Unless, of course, my opponent has stolen that too. Draconoid Operative, by the way, is such an amazing card. It can just swing games depending on what you discover. Well, there it is again. He's probably looking for Rexxar here. Now, my opponent playing Zul'jin was less impactful. I guess the Psychic Scream helped, but I've got all of these secrets in play, and it's buying me back a little bit of the board. And yep, that's lethal. So Zul'jin there was actually instrumental in us getting lethal because the secrets were replayed. That got us the 4-2 body on the board, and we could do 2 damage with his hero power, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, Duwin's Zul'jin Secrets Hunter deck. Tremendously fun deck to play. I guess the questions to ask are whether Zul'jin is worthwhile playing in the deck, given that you often have to play him first before Deathstalker Rexxar. So if Deathstalker Rexxar is just sitting in your hand, chilling, doing nothing, whilst you wait 5 or 6 turns for Zul'jin to show up, is that worthwhile? So that's question number 1. Question number 2, what are the most optimal spells to include in the deck? This deck runs Multishot, it runs Crushing Walls, Deadly Shot, and of course the whole range of secrets. Is Crushing Walls worth playing? Is Multishot worth playing? Is Deadly Shot worth playing? Are there better spells, or are there spells that we should be playing instead? Against the Even Shaman, those spells work out really, really well. And of course, Emerald Spellstone and Zul'jin is just phenomenal. So, thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and in the next few days you can look forward to more Hunter decks, courtesy of Duwin, which I'll be featuring on this channel. Until then, do take care, and yeah, if you enjoyed the content, please do subscribe. I would be eternally grateful. But yeah, I'll see you guys all again very soon for more Wild Mode fun.